Hello guys. So in this video we will be writing programs for iterative statements. That is, we'll be using iterative statements, or you can say loops, in order to write programs. We'll write some programs. So we'll write very first simple program, that is C program, to calculate sum of n natural numbers. So to give an example, what this program does is, given an input from user, say for example if I take 5 as an input from user, then I have to add from 1 up to 5. So it adds on like this up to n, that is 5, and then is equals to, and then I have to display the sum. So this is the logic what we have to write. It is pretty much simple and straightforward problem statement. So I have to get n value from user and I have to store sum. So to get an input, I'll say int n, that is I'll be getting the input from user, and then I'll create a variable called sum, initialize 0, because here is the what sum I will be storing. All the addition, whatever is the result, I'll be storing in this sum. And then my index, iterative, for in for loop I'll be using index, right? So for that index I've created this variable I. So now I have to give a prompting message to enter a user number. So enter a number. So this is a prompt message to understand that okay, I have to enter a number, and then using scanf I'll be getting that input from the user. So I'll say ampersand n. So that is what is getting the input from console and then storing in that variable called n. So now I have to write the logic, or I have to write the loop to start from 1 and up to n. So I'll say for, and I'll say I is equals to 1, I lesser than or equal to n, and I plus plus, that is increment by 1, and every time it does I'll say sum is equals to sum plus I. So it keeps on adding from 1 up to n, that is if it is n is 5, it will go up to 5. And once this is performed, so I'll say printf, and I'm going to say the sum of percentage d natural numbers is percentage d. Okay, so here I'm going to say sum of n natural number is equals to sum. So now if I run, oops, there is a small tiny problem. Okay, here I have to give a semi. Okay, so now here I have my output console. So enter a number. So if I enter 10, so sum of n 10 natural numbers is 55. So how it goes is, it is starting from 1, then it's doing 1 plus 2, then 2 plus 3, 3 plus 4, 4 plus 5, it's adding so on, and it reassigns in variable called sum, and then it keeps on adding. So at last I will get sum of n natural numbers. Now same program, if I have to do factorial of n numbers, so instead of sum, if I have to do factorial of n numbers, so instead of addition we have to perform multiplication. So in that case, here instead of addition I'll do multiplication, and I have to reassign from 0 to 1, because initially sum will be 0, then 0 into anything will be 0, right? So overall sum will be 0. So here this will be factorial. So for factorial, all you have to do is initialize to 1, and then you have to multiply instead of add. So now if I execute this program, so if I enter 5, so factorial of 5 natural numbers is 120. That is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, that is 120. So this is the simple program to calculate sum of natural numbers. So now we will write a program, C program, to print a multiplication table. So we'll print a multiplication table, that is we'll get an n value from user input, and then we are going to print the multiplication table. So this code would be kind of similar. Only thing is I'll remove sum because I'm not storing sum anywhere. So we know that tables, it starts from 1 and it goes to 10, right? So if example, if user enters 9, so it's 9 into 1 equals 9, 9 into 2, so on up to 10, right? So I will have for loop where I will start from 1 and I will go up to 10, and I'll keep incrementing 1 by 1, and every time it does this, so I'm going to say print f, and then I'm going to display a number here, then display into mark, and then display another number. That is, for example, if 5 is input, then I have to display like this, right? 5 into 1 is equals to 5. So here first I'll display that 5, then I'll display into mark, then I'll display this 1, then I'm going to display equals to, and then I'm going to display the multiplication, and then I'm going /n, so that it will go to next line every time it prints. So first it is n, then it is I, and then it will be n into I, that is the multiplication. So now if I run this program, so you can see output console. So enter a number. If I say 9, so it is going to print the multiplication table for 9. So this is very simple program. All you have to do is you must be able to format your string in this logic. So let's go a step further and try to write a program to reverse a number. So we'll try to write a program to reverse a number. So for this we will be trying to use while loop, so that we can understand how the syntax also works. So once I get this number here, so I have to reverse the number. So I'll create another variable ref where I'll be reversing the number. So now once I get the input, so how to reverse a number? So the logic is very simple, okay, to reverse a number. So this is standard, okay. Whenever you have to decrease by digit, so whenever you have to decrease by digit, you will always divide by 10, and whenever you have to increase by digit, you will always multiply by 10. Okay, say for example, if 321 is input, okay, so I have to first get this one digit. So to get this one digit, I will be dividing and getting the remainder, that is 1. Then I will get 2, so I cannot just add 1 plus 2. If I add 1 plus 2, it will become 3, but I need here it as 12. So what I'll do, I'll multiply this by 10, and then I will add 2, so that will become 12. So first we will do division, or you can say modulo operator, to get the remainder, and then I'll perform multiplication and then add the remainder. So this is the simple logic what we will be using here. So I'll say while my n is not equal to 0, so while this n is not equal to 0, what I will do, I will say remainder. So my remainder is equals to n mod 10. So that will give me that last digit, and after that I'll say ref is equals to, I will multiply ref by 10, so that it will increase by 1 digit, and plus then I will add the remainder, and then I will say n is equals to n divided by 10. So I will decrease by 1 digit, then finally. So I can then finally printf my number is %d, and then reversed number is %d. So here it will be n comma ref, but n will be initially 0. So what I'll do is I'll create a temp variable to store the number, so that I will reassign, because initially see I'm dividing and I'm dividing by n value, right? So n value will be finally 0, so I'll reassign it so that I can display this input. So now if I run this program, so you can see I have the output console here. So enter a number. If I enter 321, so I see the number is 321, reverse number is 123. So successfully it is reversing. So this is the logic to reverse a number. So hopefully you understood few programs in control and loops.